Hey, coming at you live. This is Joker News speaking. What's going on, everybody? Man, so we just got some breaking news coming out of Memphis, and I just got off the phone with the sources. So look, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's like this channel, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So coming out saying that MoneyBagg Yo and Key Glock got some connections with people that could have been part of the setup. So the story goes is that in Memphis, in the streets, there's a couple of people, a couple of groups that go down. Everybody knows about CMG and PRE, but is one group that is kind of hiding in the shadows that really hasn't came to light yet, and that's Trula. Trula is what's going on in the streets. This is what all the other cats are doing. Trula is what's going on in the streets, and this is what all the other cats do if they're not a part of PRE and CMG. So who's Trula? Well, Trula has a couple of people that of interest. You got Jay, who was running it before you got COTZ, who was supposed to be running it up until now. Jay got popped. He used to be cool with PRE. He used to sometimes, have people who had conversations with Dolph. Now this is where everything went left. Once Jay passed from Trula and they all connected these, MoneyBagg Yo's people and COTZ, that's Key Glock people, okay? Once Jay passed, that's when they started go with COTZ, and he actually linked up with Big Jug. Big Jug is Yo Gotti's brother. He's actually the muscle to enforcer for CMG. He runs the street operation, and he basically like the president of operations, right? General manager of CMG. Now what's going on is that once CEO TZ and Big Jug linked up, that's when the plans start coming out of, who's going to get set up and whatnot. Now a lot of stuff is coming out where is Key Glock, who's connected to COTZ. So this is Key Glock's old friend. Why was Key Glocks with the Trula gang in the beginning? Anyways, he got into it through some sort of marriage. He was made able to be accepted by him. He was with them for a few years as he was starting his entire PRE career. So it's dudes on the PRE side who got their hands tied into the street and stuff. And that's why they've been so silent. The only thing they did was come out with songs. But they never came up to address the fans. They never came out to talk about their last conversations and what was supposed to go on that day at the music video. Now, Trula has got a couple of suspects coming out of the CEO TZ guy. Was not, I guess he was running the show wrong way at one point. They decided to switch things up from rolling with PRE to rolling with CMG. And now I'd probably go ahead and say that Yo Gotti's brother and CMG people had a lot of influence in bringing COTZ, Trula, and everything to be rocking with the CMG side, because they knew that this third party's street group was going to be what tips the scales, who has the power in this city. So from that point on, CMG and Big Jug, Yo Gotti, they all knew they needed to get CEO TZ to push the group. Trula over to the CMG side. So now one thing that makes them connected with MoneyBagg Yo is that the fact that one of the females that is connected through relationships with Truly and stuff, she has some relationships with some of the men. She was actually seen in front row at Memphis Grizzly game with MoneyBagg Yo, and she was wearing a colorful tight jumpsuit, and MoneyBagg Yo had his chains on, so they're all very recognizable in another photo that surfaced of COTZ with Key Glock before Key Glock had any kind of music that was popping big time. He was totem poles and standing outside with the 30 stick with COTZ and basically stepping 10 toes down in the street for Tula. So now what's happening is that at some point COTZ had to have been approached by some of the people who was on Yo Gotti's side. This is where Big Jug comes into play. He probably bribed him or told him, if you don't do this and that'll happen, it'll be some security issues, right? So they basically had to use that tactic to get him to just go ahead and pick their side. That way, they're singling out PRE, and the fact that they know Key Glock is stepping with Trula, but then is over here rocking with PRE and not telling each side that he's messing with each other. He played both sides of not all the ways. He was on one side, but he's playing the third party and he's playing the PRE side. So at that point, the third party is already messing around with CMG. So that's where he got his his in trouble, because how could you be tied in with a group who's messing with the ops, that you're signed to PRE and you're messing with the group of their ops? So, but that's where Key Glock got kind of messed up, and he needed to come out and clear out these rumors, say, hey, CEO teasiness was not anything you need to worry about. So I figured you just come out and say that instead of just being in silence, so we don't have to come in, break everything down, and throw out some scenarios out there that he's not going to be favorable for his image, right? So now this whole thing is crazy because we already knew Moneybagg Yo, you know, had a lot of involvement, and it's just drawn to CMG and everybody closer to that RICO case. This RICO case can really be done. I mean, we've already brought it to life, so all they've got to do is pretty much go ahead around. All they need to pretty much do is go ahead and round him up and put the nail in the coffin for it. And as we can see, there's a lot of stuff coming out now of 2 more suspects and this and that, but a lot of that talk is actually them just being in persons of interest. Is a difference between a total bona fide suspect versus just a person of interest, and they're just still breaking down that Covington shooting and trying to find connections of why that Benz was at the Covington shooting and then didn't get caught and still made it to the Makedas cookies to the Dolphins. So I don't know why they didn't stop that white Benz. It was still in Memphis, obviously. So how could they not find a white Benz like that in the state of Memphis? And Memphis isn't that big, especially that surrounding area. You got Tennessee right there. They could have had the resources to really set up road traps to find that white Benz within that 2 weeks of that Covington shooting. I think it was within the same week or something. Now that's just strange to me, the fact to that they didn't move quickly on getting the white Benz, because if they had moved more quickly with that Covington shooting, they would have got the white Benz and they wouldn't have used it in the Dolph incident. If maybe the Dolph incident said it would have never happened, it would have been delayed, or they would have had to rearrange plans on getting another getaway car, or maybe they would have tried to go and take and steal a whole car, but they actually get caught up and would get caught red-handed if they went to go steal a whole other car. And doing that, it would never make it to the Dolph. So it's a lot of, you can really point fingers at a lot of different places, but there's negligence. The people that's supposed to be doing their job and finding the evidence and all this stuff, they moved way too slow. Not even from before the Dolph case even started, they were moving slow in the Covington case. They didn't care at all. Basically, they could have really had the whole highways where they had to set up checkpoints and just keep tabs on cars moving on about until you find the white Benz. So I just don't know. I mean, how could they have all that camera footage and everything, and then they could turn and just keep following the car wherever it went to and where it came from, with all the cameras that's around turn by turn? I mean, they done it so many times, and there's so many cases this year already, that there's cameras everywhere in the world that you can find that car within a matter of hours. You could tell where it is. So yeah, it's weird that they didn't catch it and that it ended up tragically being used in the next tragedy in the Dolphin. And rest in peace to Dolph, man. Throw all the Dolphins up in the chat and go ahead and let me hear you all in the comments, about this video and what you think. And, like I said, rest in peace to my guy Dolph, and like and subscribe, and we'll have some more news for you later.